the date today?
23rd.
Today is January 23rd, 2022. It's been a really bad day. Really emotional. All I can seem to think about is what children's services really is. It's definitely not what they claim to be. What I want to know from the Bell Mead office is how do you lay down at night and fall asleep knowing that you have falsely accused a family, admitted it in front of professionals that the accusations were bogus? You're now trying to break up my family. And I feel like somebody is putting words in my daughter's mouth. I feel let down by the system. I feel heartbroken. I'm hurt and I'm angry. My daughter is wetting her pants every night. She did that with us. She's been gone 7 weeks. And I haven't seen her since December 10th. It was the last time I seen my girl. They don't care that they hurt my feelings. They don't care that I raised her. They don't care that I paid child support. They don't care that me and my husband love each other and want to be together. All they care about is taking our daughter from us, trying to reunite her with an abuser. And now I feel because they did what they did, now Ashley doesn't know if we want her or if we love her. She can't see us every day. She has to suffer with emotional and psychological damage from having somebody, a parent, a person that raised her in her life for the last 4.5 years. And she's 5. How is it in the best interest to rip anybody out of a child's life that's been there that long? My husband and I had a visit today with the boys. And it was so sad. Every visit, Mommy and Daddy is what we get. Where's my sister? Where's Ashley? And I literally have nothing to tell them because I've done nothing, and my husband and I are being terribly accused of things we didn't do. Our daughter ripped away from us for something that we didn't even do wrong. We're good parents, and we're good people, and we love that little girl, and we love our kids. Love all of our kids. How can you take and purposely cause psychological and emotional damage on parents and their children? I am so sick and tired of CPS stalking me, sending out messages to my entire Facebook list. In 2016, they took my children and gave them to Anthony Amiro. My 4 beautiful children prior to Ashley. This was the Southeast office. And now, every one of my children for the rest of their life have to live with the memory of living under his roof, mind you, well under a supervision order with CFS. They have to be constantly reminded that there's so many things. They just have to be reminded that this guy hurt them. It was reported to them. They waited 7 months to step in. I didn't receive an apprehension order from July of 2016 until January of 2017. In August, Vanessa Barber broke into my home without my permission. She then called and told me and Martin that she was at my place and we needed to meet her there. So she knew that she didn't have permission to go into my home, and she still walked through it. She was basing it on some bogus accusations, which when the Bell Mead office got involved, they said twice. Once at my kitchen table with the domestic violence shelter worker present, and once during a service team meeting. Admitted that the calls were bogus. But instead of investigating properly and looking in to these accusations, instead of asking us to prove or show proof that they're not true, you assume what you want to assume. But in my opinion, the government should be stopped. Good parents shouldn't lose their kids on assumptions. I didn't ask to be abused by Anthony. My children didn't ask to be abused, but I wasn't there when he did it. I didn't even know an address. And I didn't receive an apprehension order till they were taken from him. But because everybody in these offices refuses to investigate properly, instead, they take people's children and place them up for adoption based on only assumptions. And innocent people go the rest of their lives without their children. Some of them, it's only a matter of time before they get a phone call asking how they want to plan the child's funeral. Some of these kids don't go home because children's services place them with people that kill them before they can even get out. When I told them about Ryan, my husband and I were told that he would go PGO and therefore they didn't want to deal with it or open a file by several workers. No, instead, this abuser gets rewarded by allowing her to have another child in her life that she wasn't there for. I paid child support. I loved her. I read her bedtime stories. I was there every step of the way. Through every court date so far, through everything. I was her mom. Sheila didn't care to come around. She never once paid $1. Not a fucking present on Easter, Christmas, or any other holiday for that matter. Not a phone call. Not a visit. In fact, the only thing she did was steal 3 Indian Affairs checks from her at Christmas time to buy crack cocaine with. And crystal meth. This woman drank and did drugs. With every one of her kids, she's been a drug addict for 25 years. She abused Ashley. Ashley didn't deserve that. And she definitely doesn't deserve to suffer or feel scared or hurt in foster care when there wasn't a reason to take her from us in the first place. I have never laid a hand on any of my kids. I've always loved them. Maybe I wasn't perfect. But I did my best, just like anybody else would. And I love being a mom. I wouldn't be out there fighting the fights that I fight if I didn't want to be a mom. I wouldn't have gave birth to my children if I didn't want to be a mom. And I definitely wouldn't have took on responsibility if I didn't want to be a mom. I know what's in the best interest of my children. I know how to love them. I can teach them morals and values. And to be kind. I can teach them to follow their dreams. I can be there for every step of the way. Like I said, maybe it's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But at least I love my kids. I don't abuse them. And I do whatever it takes. I work my ass off. I fight. Never give up. I provide for them while they're in care. I pay child support. I spend time with them. I never miss a visit, not one. I've always been there for every event, every doctor's appointment, every visit, everything. Through thick and thin. And how are you gonna call me a bad mom when I not only stuck up for my kids and fought for them still to this day, but out of the kindness of my heart, I raised somebody else's child. And in my opinion, that's probably one of the most beautiful things anybody can do for a child. I took her. CPS gave her to us. CPS gave her to us because Sheila OD'd in an apartment and there were several concerns.
And you took her and took care of her and you were there when she needed you.
Goddamn right I was there when she needed me, because I knew in my heart I love Ashley, but it also wasn't her fault that Sheila was a deadbeat abuser. It wasn't her fault that Sheila didn't give a fuck when she was born. Sheila's answer was to the workers and my husband, she'll fuck the baby up and sign it over. And guess what? She did the drugs and alcohol, so she did it all on purpose. Where's the law for parents like that? It's disgusting. They take kids from good homes and give them to abusive homes. Tired of it. Like, it's been 4 years. I've been assaulted twice in 2 years. In the last 2 years. And I had to do incident reports. I've been harassed. I've been stalked. I've been judged falsely.
And you didn't deserve that.
Bullied, hurt, traumatized, emotionally damaged, had my heart ripped out. And now you're trying to tell me that I might not have my daughter at our wedding? And that my husband should leave me? What happened to doing your job and working with people as a family unit? We are a family. We're not one, we're whole. And there's no need of what you guys are doing. I'm not showing up at your office and judging you. or making assumptions about what is and what isn't. It's clear what it is with CFS. You don't have to tell anybody. I'm just not really sure what fun CFS gets out of purposely destroying families and trauming out children. I know for a fact, and can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, that my daughter never once peed herself. And now she's doing it every night. She had night terrors from Sheila and a separation from CFS. She's maybe had 2 with us in her entire life. Barely ever. She had them, but mildly. Now apparently that's happening in the foster home every night. So what does that tell everybody? Open your eyes. At some point, there has to be somebody out there who is above the law that can stop these people. I don't want to see Ashley in the same predicament as my boys. You see, if CFS had just worked with me instead of giving my children to him, my children wouldn't have been molested today. Their worker wouldn't have been present on one of those occasions with witnesses. Because it just wouldn't have happened. I fled the abuse for a reason. But that's what they do. You see these women who come in and ask for help because they've been in an abusive relationships and they're automatically a lost cause. They're nothing. We don't mean shit to CFS. And when we feel we're not heard, we're either ignored or told that they feel for their safety. So they send us letters not to contact them. Because we reported their wrongs. But yet, it's in court orders that they broke my rights, and they continue to break the law. So why is somebody not doing something about me, about the hundreds of other parents in Canada that are dealing with these social workers and agencies that are taking their kids for whatever reason they think is in their head? And half of them don't even have children. They just come in and judge you. And I'm sorry to say, but I've been to college. I've been there. And I also know enough to recognize that just because you learn something from a textbook doesn't mean every person is learned it from a textbook. I'm a mom. They don't have it written on the pyramid walls. Like when I gave birth to my kids, it wasn't written in stone what to expect when you're expecting. Definitely wasn't parenting 101 on there either. Like, everybody starts out not knowing what they're doing, but I've learned a lot, and I've changed a lot, and I've come a long way. And it's so much hard work. Just so I could give Ashley a better life and my boys a better life than they had with Anthony. And now look where we're at. Another CFS file. Just to screw me over for getting the boys. Which is... They can't even say that ain't true, because the whole reason I don't have my boys yet, and the whole reason my visits changed and I don't have unsupervised anymore, is because of Vanessa Barber and this file. That's okay. Just remember, for every pain that you bestow upon my children, for every heartache that they suffer in your care, there will come a time in your life where you will have to answer to what you have done. I hope you feel like me. I hope you have nightmares. And I hope you have to worry sick about your children. And I hope you have to stress and fight for your life and your kids and your marriage